The legend says Mars was the greatest king on the continent of Ares, and before his demise, he wanted to eat something disgusting. A beautiful and mysterious girl appeared, wondering how she knows Zero's true identity as Mars. Zero, also known as Prince Mars, is told that his people are ready to sacrifice their lives for him so their rebellion can be successful. A man explains that when he was ordered to destroy the 100, he had two choices: flee or rebel, and he never intended to start a rebellion. Zero thinks that after living alone without allies, these people will stand by him, and their trust feels so heavy that he can't refuse it, while a girl admits she can't take her eyes off him and acknowledges Mars is now a threat to the kingdom. A girl assures Mars that they will make sure this rebellion is successful, and asks if he feels nervous because this is his first battle. A knight commander explains that Prince Mars's only role is to defeat Zero, the leader of 100, hoping he would fall in battle. An advisor tells Prince Mars that he and another man shouldn't be involved with 100 directly. A man comments on the arrival of the Black and Red Knights, noting that chivalry has fallen into disgrace. An officer addresses the troops, declaring that their enemy is 100. An observer praises Prince Mars's swordsmanship. Zero asks Prince Mars if he intended to kill him, saying it was obvious. The White Knights claim they were just following orders from the deputy commander and never intended to assassinate Prince Mars. Prince Mars declares that true peace will never be achieved as long as men like them exist, deciding to bring true justice to the corrupt kingdom. Prince Mars says they are being watched and need to hurry to the royal capital, which is a race against time. The Blue Knights pledge themselves to Prince Mars and open the gates. Prince Mars tells his opponent to see what true swordsmanship looks like, but the enemy scoffs and says they will show him what real swordsmanship is. An ally tells Prince Mars that this isn't a place to show off, it's about survival. The man declares that 100's violence can't stop true violence, but they have the mage core on their side, so things will get nasty. Frau says there's an emergency and Mars has started a rebellion, then asks her father to step down and pass the family title to her. The father is shocked that Frau wants him to step down now and reminds her that a woman can't become head of the family, wondering what she's planning. A man says that after a shock, if they survive, then comes lightning, then explosion. The man continues that if they survive the explosion, then comes dissolution, as Frau asks her father to surrender the family title again. The father wonders what Frau did this time, as she asks him to grant her wish just this once, and he wonders why the mage corps haven't joined them yet. The man thanks Prince Mars and declares that his path to the throne ends here. Another man tells Prince Mars to prepare himself. The first man declares they have come to end Prince Mars's life. He explains that Prince Mars won't be able to move because they restrained him using magic, and that reinforcements will soon surround him. The man is shocked that gravity is working on Prince Mars, who says he is used to it. The man prepares to use a poison lizard's power, then realizes Prince Mars ate a poison lizard and recalls its meat was disgusting. The masked man decides the hero is bluffing and attacks. His attack hits Chad, who is sent flying. The hero apologizes, saying he lost control without his bracelet, and orders Mika to prepare a spell, Luda to support him, and Chad to distract the enemy. He then casts Sonic Blade. The masked man is shocked, saying only a saint could heal that. The hero orders Luda to heal Chad and then casts blazing crimson flames. The masked man says he can't dodge this attack. The flames engulf Chad. The masked man blocks the fire spell with a magic barrier, surprising everyone. He tells them to run because he has no intention of killing them. An adventurer says they won't walk away after their comrades were killed. The masked man prepares to fight, saying his master always fought this way. A woman wonders why she is the only one left and reflects on her efforts for the kingdom. She recalls working tirelessly to improve the kingdom while keeping an eye on the nobles and Prince Mars. He decided Mars needed to be eliminated, but somehow Mars survived poison, traps, and assassins. Gamaris is the only one left, and Mars crushed the nobles, so the prince wonders how they will govern now and if his father should take the throne. He tells his father to at least pretend to hesitate, and wonders if there is anyone who knows how to govern. Mars declares that Gamaris is in charge of the kingdom's affairs, and in the following days, the kingdom returned to order faster than expected, so his wedding was held right away. Frau had earned their trust through her bravery during the Civil War, but Mars wants to try a summoning ritual with human sacrifices, and Ogma lectures him about putting Gamaris in charge. Mars says he saw his devotion to the kingdom, and Gamaris promises to serve him with his life and fulfill his duties thoroughly. The 100 proclaim Mars as their new king, hoping his reign will bring peace. Mars thinks to himself that all he ever wanted was to survive. The narrator wonders how eating monster meat resulted in Mars getting the throne and what awaits him now. Mars thinks that the prince of a small kingdom in the corner of the continent of Ares must have access to luxurious and delicious food. The prince is eating monster meat in order to survive, though he thinks it tastes terrible. The prince thinks that it's not like he has nothing to eat, but most of it is laced with poison. He explains that his kingdom is rampant with corruption, and the minister, Gamalas, is a tyrant who wants to assassinate him. A man calls out to the prince, saying he should be his pupil. Who's she? Didn't notice her presence at all HMPH, but you do have potential. You still have as NC to we. You're worthy to inherit my blade. Do YQ you think so? BSAUSBY at UWRBEATNG, MNSIR meat. By eating monster meat, a human can slowly take in, but the SIRENGT monster of the meat tastes monsters tetrabla albit very on top of slowly. Being poison so it's no wonder Nasu. Revek people eat. Who is this person? And what TXC heck is she saying all? 0 a sudden. Killed Tihi but poison itis, less T 4373 poso, no us do you mean? Emmet for example the Tihi poison tester well died D throw up few tires. And due to the competition for the throne, prime ASSASSI nation target, and that about Tather How died. And was a that my prince father WULDN protect Th Suavzhe he was the king Tth Quig TNRNAN was matter of the kingdom. EXPLANED everything to her. 4403 HTXC served to me as LACEDW ith poison. R Mars. You eating Mo 8 EE8s. Meet YOUWVRONNG from 7803 poisoned in TE Castle. Y3E5IT. H she just ignored me. It's tilde E no T ry DNN. SHOMETA are any them want sympathy. I am used to it want kill. ME. But it TASAES like crap. I test B59 ruddies he LP. Me a lot that meat is also poisonous, right? As thought. REAYOL wonder FULI04. But if YOUIR is still afraid of poison, USDLL have a long way to go. ILGNEUTHs, what is this? Thank you, it looks rather OMINOU's boo 18 something like EO1 E3 E to you just met. Who are you exactly? Why wo old you go so far? ME. I am CASSANDRA. 16. HA CASSANDRA. W8. The Cassandra. He red demon sword saint CASSANDRA. I heard that people do call me that TQGHREATRLZE demon name. She thinks the ring must be a powerful magic item, and that she won't have to worry about assassination attempts anymore now that the red demon has taken her as a disciple. Cassandra explains that the ring is a cursed item that afflicts its user with poison, and conquering the poison from the ring will be his test as her master. She challenges him to show her that he can conquer the poison, but he is already feeling sick and wonders if he is going to die. Cassandra says that he must be able to conquer poison to use it, or he will die, and that he should be able to resist it if he eats monster meat. He recalls that even cure magic did not work on this poison, and he ended up half dead for 3 days, with every doctor giving up trying to cure it. Although everyone congratulated him on recovering from the poison, no one found it weird that he was poisoned, and his father tells him it is his responsibility to protect himself. The protagonist feels no lingering effects from the poison, and is happy that normal food tastes great again, also noting the poison resistance will be helpful. A woman decides to give him weighted bracelets that will double his gravity magic. She tells him to wait there. She presents him with a great basilisk. She explains that this rare, raw meat should be effective against the ring's poison if he can conquer it. The protagonist swallows the basilisk meat, thinking it will kill him. The man asks his master if the meat is very poisonous. His master confirms that the stronger the monster, the more poisonous the meat is to humans, and she says that he should be fine after eating what he just ate. The master tells him to come at her with his sword, and she will strike him with her full power. The woman tells him that although it took some time, he ate all the meat while crying the whole time, and he needs to eat more monster meat. He spent days eating monster meat and learning swordsmanship from his master, who was very attentive and immediately noticed whether he was improving fast enough. Although he only fought weak monsters by himself, she took care to pick monsters that he would barely be able to win against, and she tells him to try to kill her. The master's special skill was holding back just enough to not kill him, and Mars was beaten within an inch of his life. Thanks to his survival instincts, Mars managed to learn how to detect presences and avoid attacks. Compared to fighting the master or powerful monsters, fighting assassins was practically child's play. The master told Mars to go take down a wyvern, saying he had become pretty strong. Cassandra says that Mars is strong, and dealing with assassins is easier than dealing with her. His master, who had been training him for the last 3 years, said she had nothing more to teach him and then left. He realizes that Cassandra travels the world, seeking strong opponents, and he never asked where she lived. The fragile thread that saved him from assassins took him to hell, and he didn't know how his encounter with Cassandra would change his life. More than anything, he must survive against powerful monsters and avoid being killed by his own master. The story is about an MC who keeps eating monster meat. Some time has passed since Cassandra disappeared, and Gamaras is still trying to end his life. Gamaras wants him out of the way so her daughter can inherit the throne. A man observes the protagonist and others training, musing that sword skills are often seen as unnecessary these days, but perhaps the protagonist could be useful. The protagonist asks if he can join their training, but the others are hostile, assuming he's a noble looking down on them. But one of them agrees to train with him, warning him not to complain if he dies. The protagonist defeats their leader, and then declares that they will be his training partners from now on. The others protest, but the protagonist says he wants to eat 5 times as much as he does now and asks them what they ate tonight, and then answers that he ate red bone meat. The others are shocked that he ate a red bone, which is a monster that one person can't defeat, and the protagonist tells them that they are ignorant and points out something behind them. The muscular man wonders if the creature will be decent enough for his meal tomorrow. Another man asks how he can eat the monster meat and suggests he try eating it too. The muscular man tells him to take only a small bite, or he will probably die. The noble reflects on his past and how he created the 100, an organization that pursues only power. He explains that within the 100, hierarchy is determined by power, and they pride themselves on being the strongest group in the country, but a seeker of greater power has just appeared before them. One of the men urges him to eat more monster meat, as it is too early for blood bear meat, and he needs to get used to the local meat first. Ogma asks Zero to join the 100, giving him the title of Number Zero, and suggesting he change his name from Mars to Zero's. Zero hid his appearance in armor and trained in ancient ruins, improving his ability to fight groups, as the 100 members constantly challenged him, showing great enthusiasm. Someone commented on how the situation was strange, praising those who ate stronger monster meat and calling those who ate weaker meat weaklings, wondering how much rabbit meat Zero had eaten. As a prince, Zero had never been respected so much, giving him mixed feelings, while elsewhere, Commander Chrome learned of a group that ate monster meat and spent their time fighting. Chrome decided to investigate the 100, suspecting they might be an evil cult, and vowed to subdue them if they were trying to bring chaos to the country. Someone explained how to hunt monsters, advising against overexertion and recommending eating monster meat little by little, while explaining that anyone was welcome, but the golden rule was to eat monster meat to be considered someone with determination. The man encourages Zer to eat the monster meat, saying it will make him stronger, but Zer wonders if it is poison to expose his identity. Zer finds the monster meat incredible and feels his strength increasing, as a year passes with the 100 hunting monsters nightly and focusing on strength. Zer learns of Zero's, the top member of the 100, who has mastered legendary skills and generously shares them, leading Zer to question if subjugating the 100 is blasphemy. A man reflects on finding his purpose within the 100, contrasting it with the constant threats he faced as a prince, and notes the divided opinions on the 100 within the castle. Gamaras tells Prince Mars that rumors are spreading about the 100 killing each other and eating monster meat, and suggests that Mars subjugate the 100 to prove himself as the next king. Mars is shocked by the suggestion, realizing it is a form of revenge, as subjugating the 100 would plummet his support, but Gamaras insists that Mars is the best choice to defeat the bandits. Prince Mars agrees to Gamara's request, but wonders how to resolve the situation without losing his position. A girl appears in Mars' room, and he wonders if she is an assassin. The girl offers Mars her power and calls him Zero's, surprising him because he doesn't recognize her. The girl introduces herself as Frau, his fiancée, but Mars is more concerned about her calling him Zero's. Frau reveals she is the leader of 100 and has been hiding her identity while watching over Mars. Mars remembers a childhood ritual where Frau placed a crest on him, which now allows her to watch him. Mars and Frau have been together since childhood, after being introduced as fiancées when Frau was 8 years old. At the time, Frau had just learned a new pact spell and used Mars as a test subject. When Mars was 11 and close to death from poison, he began eating monster meat, which intrigued Frau, so she started using the pact mark more frequently. Frau says there is now a big problem, as Mars's private life is constantly being watched, but she will lend him her power. In Falun, Zero's notes that the leaders of the Red and Black Knight orders, Chrome and Warren, have joined 100, but the atmosphere is heavy. It seems Chrome and Warren have been appointed to annihilate 100, but they announce they will leave the country and support 100 until the end. Chrome says there is no justice left in this country, and another asks what he means by until the end. Chrome thinks that he would rather flee to another country and live freely than participate in a problematic rebellion, but another wonders what he means and then sees his true face, Prince Mars. A man realizes that Zero's, who led 100, was Prince Mars, so now they understand that he couldn't rebel against his own country. Chrome clarifies that it won't be a rebellion, but a legitimate war, and that they have become the successors of justice. A man wonders why there are over 1,000 people when they are called 100, and he thinks that he needs to calm everyone down. Frau says that they will be allies of Prince Mars, and that he doesn't have to test them. Frau is known as the Empress of Thunder, a key piece in the country's defense, and she will command the magic division. Mars asks Frau why she is helping them so much, wondering if it is worth crossing such a dangerous bridge. Frau says that she wasn't interested in Mars at first, but now she is very interested in him. Mars thinks that victory is now as good as guaranteed with Commander Chrome of the Red Knights, Commander Warren of the Black Knights, and Frau, the Empress of Thunder, on their side. Agma and all of 100 are ready, along with their leader, Zeros, also known as Prince Mars. The crowd cheers. The main character thinks about how his friends are ready to rebel against the country, but he is not interested in the throne.